Well, I noticed you could really lose your recording when you're like, let me put it this way. The white police that are in St. Louis, where you gotta understand, when black people first seen them, they had long luxurious hair that was matted all over their face, all over their arms, long luxurious hair, sort of like, like their hair is more straight, more like the monkey type of hair, whereas ours is naturally curly, which is really, how many monkeys don't have afros? You don't see that, you know. Uh, they prepared it more to buffalo. So you have a white person that has a mentality that was developed under the continuous years of sexual abuse. From syphilis, that so there, this part of the European they sent over here, and you also got to understand the church for a long time funded, its wars with prostitution and alcohol, and we're still fighting our wars with drugs, prostitution, and and that's that, and what more sells to kids than something that's taboo? So the church made so it's very so anyway. So we have this very racist mentality of Ku Klux Klan policemen that think it's instead of like doing something to maybe educate their child or uplift the woman, like um uh back in the day, when men went off to war, the women was left home, like when they went to Vietnam, when they went to Korea, when World War II, World War I, and etc. There's been one continuous war. Ever since then, it's just like you go to the Middle East. They said, "Oh, well, we brought everybody home. Bush brought everybody home." The only thing Bush did was when he got invited over there by those Chinese, and they gave him something to knock him out. They ended up robbing the American people, hid them in Russia, or like something like 3.7 billion trillion or something. And like, even though like, and the only reason why con artists and people like that are that once they've been pimps, but they educate themselves or they go to school and they become a manager, like in the record industry. There's another one that traffics drugs. It's Sony, what is it, Columbia. Come on now, with a name like Columbia. And I'm not talking about they're trafficking it up from Mexico. They're all trafficking it in from Afghanistan. That's why we're there. And the pharmaceuticals, they're making so much money. They made a lot of money in the 90s talking about like buying time on sitcoms and saying, don't forget to take your meds, just insert those lines in there. If they only would have took their meds, there wouldn't have been no earthquake. So anyway, so now we're looking at the offsprings. We're looking at the children of these children's. They're no longer getting breastfed. The mother's no longer, by the time that they're 5 years old, giving them so much information they can read a newspaper. Because back in the day, World War I, World War II, reading a newspaper. Back in the day, it's for survival for your child meant that you had to give your child information as a mother to how to feed, clothe, and house themselves. And back then you were able, you could even you were even able if you didn't, to live off the land. You know what I'm saying? But now we have um corporation, feeding us. We have, we don't even have a train system in America because they want you on the up in the plane so bad. I don't like planes. I don't like the way they treat you when you get on the planes. I don't like the way how much it costs, and then they could act any old way to you, talk any old way to you, have you stripped down naked, and then there's always some disgusting uh, 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 two or three men, one white and the other one black, and they're sitting there geek 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 geek. And as long as they have you guys thinking about sex, they're able to just have like a whole kilos walk through there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I'm a man. I think about sex every 21 seconds. And that's all they want. And so like the pharmaceuticals they're making money off of. They're thinking they're getting rich off of our ills. That's why we don't have. That's why look. As long as we have policemen like we got in St. Louis, as long as they got the mentality that the only way they can fix something is to blow something up, just like they're doing over there in the Middle East, that IS people is, you know. But and they were trained by America. When America leaves and Britain and these countries leave these countries where they've been so cruel, where they've been extracting gold and silver and oil out of these countries, they're still taking all out of the country. I mean, it's anyway, and trust me, if why you white people so scared, it doesn't even take a genius to make a nuclear waste. Okay? It doesn't take a genius to make nitrogen. It doesn't take a genius to do anything. So lucky for us, you Ku Klux Klan white murdering ass policemen up there in St. Louis, or you murdering policemen in New York. The only thing that got us in our favor is that your brain capacity is that of a chimpanzee. Do you ever wonder why before they sent white people up to the moon, they had to use a monkey? Black people, you don't need a motherfucking monkey. All you need to do is stop listening to a white man tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Send them to the white man's school, because otherwise the white man's gonna kick in your door and take your child, throw your ass in jail and think Oz is like a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So what you're gonna have to do, women? You're gonna have to start, stop whooping them and start teaching them how to clothe and feed and house themselves. And that's by giving them information. And in a capitalist society, the information that you need to give them is information to help them get a job. Don't think, oh, she's a female, she don't need math. No, you better count 28 days or just count from one period to the next. You better do the division and figure out half of the month you can get pregnant. Maybe you only got 2 or 3 days. When you go to the store and buy groceries, you gotta get change, you gotta make change, you gotta do the math. So don't be telling, she can't be a science, she can't do math. No, you can't be in America and not do math. You can't be in America and not know how to read. Okay? If we're not pumping out people that are going to be engineers and science, you watch. Our whole infrastructure is going to fall. You can't get no white trash, moron policemen. They only pump out 2 or 3 of them, and they need someone to copy and someone to steal off of. Even that guy that's bragging about, he opened up Facebook, which I like. He's, pretty much they stole it. You know what I'm saying? And who do they steal it from? They steal it from the blacks. Well, if you're not educating the blacks, you're not educating, and we don't have no Negroes no more. We got some make-believe, Johnny-come-lately, African Americans. Stop believing in Santa Claus, black man. Because wake up, black man. Be the grown up, because then you can ho and be Santa Claus. You still waiting for the white man to pass you out something. The only thing he gonna pass you out is a bullet, some STD, and then he got, you know what? Do your thing, St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody want. I say don't talk to the police. I say shun them. I say stay away from them before, during, and after. And maybe if you want to do some black community, maybe you should get somebody to represent you while L. Sharpton and them come up there. Does he got any lawyer? And I tell you one thing, L. Sharpton, when you came up here for that Peace March in 2008, whoever those little black motherfucker bitches you got running around thinking they straight up dick suckers and punch me in the back, you bring people that incite a riot. And y'all talking about incite a riot. Nobody incited a riot until that policeman emptied that gun into that boy's face. That was the riot you incited. Nobody incited a riot until the police threw tear gas. Nobody incited a riot until the police start shoving and pushing people back and pointing their guns. So as long as that white trash police, racist ass bitches want to blame the victim, I guess you think you could have a reason to have your big guns. You're going to point him at Americans? You're going to kill another American? You think you're going to incite a war? No, bitch. You're going to meet yourself. And if you don't understand what that means, that means the only reason why there is a war, is like in Israel, is because the Jewish goes and they keep bombing and bombing and bombing the people. The people don't got no choice. And maybe the people wanted to do tunnels and burrow the hell away from that area. So what do? They block it. So, oh, they're trying to come in here to kill us. And you're like, well, that's just going to go on forever and ever. And eventually the ones that Israel is just going to poof up in a hot heat of hate on itself. And they're going to genocide themselves. Gosh, bye.